Hey y'all, I'm Inez. Welcome to my channel where I share all the things that I know that I want my people to know about adding more travel to your life and making your dreams of Black travel a reality, child. Today, we are going to be talking about how you can travel solo like a pro. Okay? So, are you ready? I hope you are. Let's go. Okay, so if you're watching this, you probably have some fears, some hesitations, and you don't feel completely confident about going out into the world alone, right? However, I want you to consider something. Have you ever done anything alone? If you're a woman of a certain age, you probably have, okay? Whether you've had to go to dinner by yourself, whether you've had to go to the club by yourself, whether you have gone to a networking event by yourself, whether you have had to show up at a new job where you know no one and establish yourself and create new friendships and new relationships, whether you've had to go to the grocery store by yourself, whether you live alone, all the things, right? You have probably done so many things by yourself already that I'm going to tell you a little secret. You already know how to travel solo, boo. You already do. So don't let any type of belief in your mind about the fears of the world or the danger out there in the other countries tell you any differently. You already know how to travel solo. However, I am going to share some tips on how you can travel solo like a pro so that you can make it one of the most enjoyable experiences of your life. All right, so tip number one is act like you're supposed to be there, please. Okay? Adopt a secure and open posture, right? A confident posture, because it will allow you to attract the people that you do want to attract and deter the people that you don't want to attract, right? If you move like you're confident, like you're supposed to be there, like you have the confidence to move alone in the world, then the people who love the confidence and would like to interact with you will be attracted to interact with you. And the people who would like to victimize you will be like, wait a minute, she looked like she could come for me. So I'ma just fall back, right? So adopt that posture. Even if you don't feel like it, act like it, right? Because truthfully, again, like we talked about earlier, you know how to travel solo, right? So adopt that mindset. I know how to travel solo and I'm supposed to be here. And so I move in the world, regardless of the world is, wherever the world is, like I'm supposed to be here, right? The other thing is make sure as you're acting like you're supposed to be there, make sure that you're dressing like you're supposed to be there and you're speaking like you're supposed to be there, okay? So don't dress too loud, don't dress too flashy, and don't dress too flaunty. Those things can really make people feel sometimes offended, or they can make you a target, or sometimes they create a bad avatar of what the Black American woman is, right? So make sure that you are incorporating and merging your style with the acceptable clothing and the acceptable style, acceptable looks in the country, right? For instance, you don't want to go anywhere with booty shorts on where women don't even show their legs, right? You don't want to go somewhere and have all your gold and your jewels and your bling on where, there's high crime and there's a lot of pocketing and people aren't even used to seeing these types of gold and jewels. And so when they see you look like a target all the way, right? So make sure that you merge your authentic style with the acceptable outfits and clothing and looks that are there so that you have a good time and you look good, but you also are representing yourself and all of us well. The other thing is we can be we just naturally can be some loud people, this how we do, okay? However, sometimes it takes the knowledge to understand that everybody can't deal with that much loudness. So look around your surroundings. Like, are people talking loud? Are they more demure? How are people interacting with each other? In certain countries, like certain Caribbean countries, they're gonna be turned. Like, you can holler and scream and they're like, yes, that's normal. Certain other countries is not normal. And so it just takes you to pay attention to your surroundings as if you would if you were home, if you were in your home state, and use them to guide what you do and you don't do. And the other thing of acting like you're supposed to be there is smile, child. Just smile, okay? I am naturally a smiley person, as you can tell. However, I'm not even saying you got to be a smiley person. I'm not even saying you got to be giddy. I'm just saying turn down the resting you know what face and aim for pleasant. Okay. But usually that is a great way to engage people, especially when you're in countries where you don't speak the language. And then even when you do speak the language, it's a great way to potentially start good conversations. And then it also can lead to new relationships and new friendships. So make sure that you do that as well. Tip number 2 is make sure that you plan your first night well, right? You're going to be tired from travel. You're going to have a lot of things that you're trying to maneuver in order to get where you need to be. So make sure you know exactly where you're going, what hotel it is, what city you're in, what time you're supposed to arrive, what time check-in is. Just make sure you have a really good understanding of these things. Also know what mode of transportation you're going to use to get there. I would say aim to get wherever you're going to get by mid-afternoon so that you're not arriving at night. And even if it takes you, even if your plane is late or if it takes you a long time to get to wherever you're going, whatever hotel it is, you are good because it's still not dark and you still have a level of comfort that you have when you're in the daytime, right? Also, make sure you have a backup plan just in case hotel is a mess, a hot mess. That has happened to me before where I've gone to a place and I thought it was going to be one thing, whether it's a hotel or Airbnb, I thought it was going to be one thing. And it ended up being another thing. And it just didn't work out well. And fortunately, I'm very familiar with like the sites and stuff. So I was quickly able to find something else and book. However, if you're not, it just makes sense to have a backup plan just in case. You need to be like, I'm no longer staying here. I'm going to go somewhere else. That's another good reason to arrive earlier so that you can make that transition if you need to during the day. And then also with regard to planning your first night well is you want to keep the address for the place that you're trying to go to. So the hotel, the Airbnb or whatever it is, keep it somewhere on your phone that doesn't require you to have Wi-Fi to access it, right? When you get to these other countries, you may or may not have Wi-Fi in the airport. Your phone probably won't work until you get a SIM card for that country. So you may not be able to pull stuff down from the internet in order to be able to show people where you need to go. So just have it on your phone, whether you got a screenshot. I use a screenshot everything. Screenshot it, whatever it is, type it in your notes so that you can be able to easily tell an Uber driver, a taxi, a shuttle, or anybody where it is that you need to go. Tip number 3 is make new friends before you go and make new friends while you're there. So I'll tell you a little story. When I was right out of grad school, I went to Yokohama, Japan for a conference. And before I went, I was like, let me go see if I know anybody, who's going, or let me go see if I can find some people who are like me, Black professional, who are there. So I went to MySpace, because back in the day it was MySpace, and I found a Black professional community in Tokyo, right? So I go, I make a friend with somebody. She's like, oh, I'm absolutely going to meet you. Let's meet for dinner the first night, blah, blah. I get there. Homegirl is not even Black. She is Japanese. But her boyfriend is Black, which is why she's in the Black professional group. Makes sense to me. Either way, I had a blast with her. She ended up taking me to a club there where there were plenty of Black professionals there. So it ended up being a great experience. So I always suggest that people make friends before you go. You can find people, you can find influencers, you can find regular people who have the same interests as you and are of the same quality and values that you have on Instagram. That's number 1. You can go to Facebook groups and find people who are traveling the same time you're traveling, people who are already there, who live there, people who know the details of how to find people there. There are Facebook groups for Black women, Black travelers, solo women travelers, family travelers, all the things that you ever need to find friends before you go. That's really going to keep your energy excited about going as well. There's a cool thing about Airbnb where you don't just have your house that you live in. You can also book an experience, which is actually a service where somebody who lives in the city will take you to do a specific thing. So they can take you to do the specific thing, but who says they can't become your friend and tell you more things to do and actually you can hang out with them later? That's a great way to meet people who are, vetted, for instance, in the city that you're going to. Also, something that I don't think a lot of travelers take advantage of is hotel staff and restaurant staff. Okay. Now, maybe it's just me, but I believe that the people who work in these places really know the details of what's going on, where to go, where not to go, what's popping, what nights, how much you should be paying, how much they're going to try to charge you because you're American, all of these things, right? So there has been plenty of times, whether it's in Ghana, whether it's in Dominican Republic, that I have made friends with the people who are my service providers, a waiter, hotel staff, and just kind of talk to them about what's going on, and also have met up with them later. Now, I was in groups. It wasn't a solo trip. However, actually, let me think about it. Yes, it was. When I went to Costa Rica, it was a solo trip. So I turned my Uber driver into my actual taxi driver, right? So he had Ubered me, and then I stopped paying him through Uber, and I was just giving him money through transactions, and he was showing me the places, right? So leverage these people. They are the masters of what's going on there. They are the most knowledgeable. So make sure that you make friends of people who are going, or, you know, before you go, or people who live there. Also, make friends while you are there. All right, tip number 4 is pack light and stay organized. Or, bag a lady, you gon' hurt your back, dragging all them bags like that. Look, we do not need all the bags. Do not overpack, especially when you are traveling solo, because you don't have anybody to help you, basically. Like, so if anything goes wrong, it's just you and you. Also, having a few bags is the best way to make sure that your bags travel as fast as you do or as slow as you do. For instance, I would suggest having a book bag, a travel book bag. So just not like a regular book bag you take to school. Find a travel book bag. They're usually bigger and longer, and they usually have straps that are more comfortable for long walking. And then also have a carry-on bag that you can drag that will actually go onto the airplane with you, right? So you want your book bag and you want your carry-on to be able to go on the plane with you. Because God forbid anything happen where your bags don't show up till 2 days after you got there. You don't want that situation to happen, especially when you're by yourself. You just don't want no issues, right? Or if they lose your bag, right? You don't want that situation happening. You're by yourself. So just make it so that it's super easy. The simplest way to do that is to have the backpack as well as the carry-on, right? The other thing is, I would say organize your bag, right? Organize your bag. I usually organize my bag with smaller bags in it. So I'll have like my makeup bag. I'll have like a toiletry bag. I have those type of things in my bag, in my suitcase. Also in my book bag as well. Like I'll use the compartments of the book bag to store certain things. Although I have been hearing a lot of videos about packing cubes, which I've never used, but they look like the best thing since sliced bread to me because I travel so much. So I plan to start using packing cubes. So I'll do a product review on the packing cubes I end up getting, and after I use them, to see if they're as great as I feel like they're going to be. However, you can just use the bags you have at your house or the sections of your compartments of your suitcase. And the reason why you want to do that is because you want to make it easy to be able to access whatever you need without rummaging through stuff, especially when you're by yourself, because, you know, you just feel like less anxiety about having to like look around in your bag to find the things. You know, you can be more alert and aware because you know exactly where to get it. You're more confident about it. You pull that one thing out, like you don't have to pull other things out in order to get to the thing that you need. It just makes it easier. So make sure that you organize your stuff in some form or fashion so that it's easily accessible. Tip number 5 is protect your stuff and protect yourself. What you want to do is make sure that you are aware and aware, because regardless if you're at your house in your city or you are in Africa or whether you are in South America, wherever you are, you need to be away and aware. So there's a couple of things that you can do. One, I just found this really cool app on the App Store called Find My, Findmy. It's an app that helps you, especially if you're an iPhone user. Shout out to iPhone users. You can use your app to allow people to track where you are. So if you're a solo traveler and you're okay with your family or your friends like knowing exactly where you are, you can download the app and they can track where you are so that if anything is to happen, they know where you last were seen or where your phone last was or where your phone currently is, right? So I plan to use that app even when I don't travel by myself, really, because the type of traveling that me and my family are planning to do, we are definitely going to be in the outskirts. We're definitely going to be in the rural areas. We're definitely going to be in, you know, potentially secluded places that normal people wouldn't access. So I want the people who I love who are here to know where we are, know that we're good, and if anything goes wrong, they know where to look. Also, it would be a good idea to leave your itinerary with somebody who you trust, as well as a copy of your passport, just so that people know where you're supposed to be, right? What time does your plane leave? What time does it land? What hotel you're going to be in? Where you're supposed to check in? Where you're supposed to check out? Even potentially some of the activities that you plan to do, whether it's restaurants, whether it's excursions, whatever it is, just so that somebody who knows you here can provide information to anybody who may be looking for you or where you're supposed to be expected on certain days. Okay. Also, you want to stash your cash in different places. So there's a couple things around like your money and your valuables. One, don't take all your money with you when you go somewhere, right? You want to have a little bit in your bag. You want to have a little bit in your book bag. You might want to have a little bit in your suitcase. You might want to have a little bit in the safe in the room, right? Don't take all of it anywhere ever, because you never know what can happen. And for all the way from hotel staff can be shady sometimes, not all the time. And there have been times where I've gone on trips, and it wasn't even by myself. I was going on group trips. We've gone to events where locals were there, and people got their phone stolen right out of their purse, right? So, and it could have been money, could have been their wallet, could have been whatever. So you don't want to have everything all in one place. Also, in regards to having your stuff stolen out your purse, make sure that you're wearing things that are secure, right? So wear clothes that don't allow access to the things that are in your clothes, whether it be zip up pockets on your pants, whether it be accessories that have closed pockets that you can actually button them closed and they're not open. Make sure that you are wearing those type of things. Your bag should not be accessible. So that also means just because your bag has a zip does not mean it's not accessible. The zipper needs to be either lockable, so you might want to buy the little locks and put it on there, or the zipper needs to be in an area where people they will probably need to touch you in order to get to the zipper. So whether it's on the inside or something like that, those are the best type of things just to take with you, just to be precautious of anything that could be taken from you in any way. Also, I have worn plenty of times, and I know these are old and throwback, but I think they might be coming back. I don't know. Fanny packs, right? A fanny pack is a great way to have your stuff right in front of you. So somebody is literally gonna have to stare you in your face in order to take it. I dare them to stare you in your face and take it. So yeah, so consider those things when you're like securing your stuff. And then about securing yourself, consider the things about sharing the places where you're going to be, the apps, as well as being aware, like being self-aware. Look around to your surroundings, know where you are, know who's there, know what the people, are doing where you are. So when you are leaving certain places, make sure you look back to see, did you leave anything? Did you leave an ID? Did you leave a passport? Did you leave a bag? Did you leave anything? Just double check so that you know you have your stuff at all times. Sometimes you can be wrapped up in the fun of it all and forget things. So that is tip number 5. Secure yourself and secure your stuff. And in general, the world is a magical place, right? It is a exciting place. It is a challenging place, and it is a fascinating place. And your solo trip is going to be all of those things. So I'm super excited for you going. I hope that, you will take that trip. You'll make it happen. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Remember, take what you know about yourself and how you maneuver in the world, in your current world, and use it in the world, right? You can do this. I know that you can do it. Give yourself the freedom to connect with the world as a way of connecting more deeply with yourself. All right, y'all, that's it. That's all. So I hope this video really has given you the assurance and the tactics that you need in order to make your dreams of solo travel a reality. I will tell you, anytime that I have traveled solo, whether it's by myself completely or if it's by myself on the way to travel with a group, it has always been a rewarding and transformative experience for me. So go, sis, go. Just go. Okay. Also, I want to help you all with traveling post-pandemic, or actually, hell, we still in the pandemic. So traveling in a pandemic. And I'm going to create a pandemic travel toolkit. And I want to know what you would want in it. There's so many things that have changed about travel in the last 2 years, whether it be the shots that you need, or whether it be the proof that you need, or the test that you need, or who's open, who's not open, what activities are available, what activities are not available, what travel essentials you should take with you. That I think that it's really important to kind of have a place where you can go to know, here are all the things are right here. So I'm going to create that place for you. I want to know what you think should be in there. I'm considering putting in there, some of the things that I use, some of the tools I use to research activities to do, some of the tools I use to find essentials to buy, some of the tools I use to plan my trips. But I want to know what you think. So leave me a comment below and let me know, if those things sound good, if there's specific things that you know that you want to know, that you find it hard to find, or if there are things or there are obstacles that you're running up against that are stopping you from making your travel dreams a reality, because we cannot have that, boo-boo. We can't have it, okay? If you love this video, then I know that you are one of my people. So make sure to like it, show me some love, and subscribe to my channel so that you can learn more ways about how to transform your life through travel and how to make your dreams of Black travel a reality, okay? Okay. In the meantime, stay tripping.